The Minister for Racing in New South Wales is George Souris. And George, a wonderful announcement here at Randwick by the ATC, your government, and also Adina Apartments. A wonderful announcement for racing and tourism.
It's exactly what the New South Wales Government wants to see happen here at Royal Randwick. It's an addition to the facilities, of course, but it's unique. It's probably preeminent in the world to understand that a hotel with a view of the Strait of Royal Randwick, and that will be a great attraction. But as far as the state government is concerned, Destination New South Wales, the economic makeup of the state, the tourism imperative, the major event imperative, the Australian Turf Club is very, very important to the economic effort of our state and will form an integral part of the whole concept of Destination New South Wales.
You mentioned during the press conference it was the visionary of the ATC, but this is government land.
This is Crown land, and the developments that are occurring here are part of the assets of the people of New South Wales. We can be very proud not only of what is occurring with the grandstands and the Theatre of the Horse. This is now an enterprise investment. It fits the jigsaw perfectly for the state and the economic imperative that is emerging for New South Wales. The Australian Turf Club, the racing industry, has a very big role to play in our Destination New South Wales concept, the Autumn Carnival, of course, but the year-round activities now that will be enhanced by developments such as this hotel.
And of course, George, where it's located here at Randwick, we've got the hospital, the Prince of Wales, we've got the university, close proximity to the beaches, the football stadium in the city. It's going to be an important part to Sydney and the tourism side of things.
Well, where else in the world will you find a Grade 1 A-class racecourse, a part of the CBD of a major city, the gateway city of Australia, Sydney? It will service overflow and accommodation requirements in times such as the Festival of Sydney, during the cricket, during the Autumn Carnival itself, but it will also service the important needs that Allianz Football Stadium has, the Sydney Cricket Ground, the University of New South Wales, Royal Prince of Wales Hospital, and the whole Fox Studios precinct, and the closeness of not only beaches, of course, but the airport. So it's very much part of the economic effort of New South Wales. It fits what we want to see happen here at Randwick. The government is very, very pleased to see this enterprise development take place alongside the government's investment in grandstands and the Theatre of the Horse, a development that will enhance Royal Randwick, Australia, preeminent in the racing world.
Just quickly, you said that, and the government contribution to the Randwick, the grandstand and the Theatre of the Horse. I know you love racing, you've been coming a long time. Any chance you're kicking a little bit for this one as well?
Well, this one is privately funded. The Australian Turf Club is financing this, and of course the rent from the Adina Royal Randwick will service the debt. So this doesn't need help, and certainly the government is helping in a very significant way. $150 million development here at Royal Randwick, and the other $24 million development that's occurred out at Rosehill Gardens. Very significant development by the government. The success of the racefields legislation secures the future for funding the racing industry, and the government is very, very pleased to be part of this and to be effectively a co-partner of the Australian Turf Club as it moves forward and ever upwards.
The chairman of the Australian Turf Club, John Cornish. Well, John, it looks like it's not just an imaginary hotel in the pictures now, it's coming to fruition.
Yeah, Richard, it's been carefully planned and hugely researched, and now it's going to happen. And I mean, I think the group Toga Group are just really, really great, worldwide, world-famous, Australian-owned hoteliers, and that'll be terrific.
A special announcement too. We know we've got the grandstand and what's happening at Randwick. It looks like we're not just coming from 1970s here at Randwick when it looked a little bit old and behind the times, but we're going to charge into 2013 with something special.
Yeah, I guess we see this as a total entertainment precinct, Richard, you know, and that's what it has to be in this day and age, as you well know. But this is the next step in that way forward. I must say, though, you know, as terrific as this hotel is, and you imagine looking down this straight, and this tent is actually sitting on the footprint of it, it's got a lot of other attributes going for it too, conferencing and high-class restaurants and all this terrace area here for 3,000 patrons of racing. We take the rooms back on carnival days and convert them to suites. All that sort of stuff has been well and truly thought out.
I think for the members and those the participants coming to Randwick for the carnival days, you'll still basically control the hotel.
Yeah, we'll always own the hotel. Bearing in mind we have a 99-year lease from the government with that one proviso, but we hope around 99 years, but it's not going to be possible for you or me, Richard. But we, yes, we'll own the dwelling, the building, the huge building, and we'll sub it out to Toga to do the management for, it's a long period of time, 20 years, I think is the term of the agreement. But other aspects of it we'll either do ourselves or we'll sub them out as well to do with the 3,000 people that will sit in this area during race days.
How long did the process take, John, to appoint the Toga as the hoteliers?
Well, we went looking for the best, Richard, and we went looking particularly for an Australian company that had international expertise. And there's not many of them, to be, sadly, but these guys certainly are. But then we went to the next step. We went and saw our next-door neighbours at the university and the hospital down the road and all the sporting complexes around the corner. They all saw that this was just a remarkable facility for them to use. The hospital has a lot of surgeons that come here from overseas and stay 3 months at a time. The university has a lot of visiting professors. They'll be using it most certainly. And you can imagine on the weekends, which is usually a quiet period in the city for hotels, we've got all the sporting complexes in this precinct, so that'll be well and truly used.
Another revenue source, you see that as a big revenue plus for the ATC moving forward?
Yeah, without a doubt, Richard. I mean, we need to do things outside the square, and this is another one. One thing feeds to another, and that's all this is about,
Crown land, of course, the racecourse with the 99-year lease you mentioned, so it was important to get the state government on board.
Oh, sure. We're not asking them for funds, by the way.
I put that to Mr. Souris. I said, can't he lend us just a little bit more?
I reckon his answer might have been pretty quick. No, but anyway, we are raising our own funds for this. It stands alone as a commercial enterprise. In fact, it won't be difficult to fund it. That's happening as we speak. We just need to get the final building costs sorted, and as I said in there, I'm not far away from that now anyway. So.
And you spoke about the first class. You got the hotel, but you also got restaurants and bars going in, and that's all down the track planning.
Yeah, the hotel's about, in fact it is 170 rooms. Now it's got two sides to it. One looks down the racecourse straight. The other's pretty important too. It looks over Centennial Park through to the city, and as you get up, 4, 5, 6, 7 floors, it's pretty impressive up there, and as it will be from these stands too. There's a forgotten part about all this. The back door outlook is just fabulous. You can see the harbour, etc., etc. So yeah, there'll be two distinct areas, and the first 3 floors will be made up of reception areas, restaurants, second floor convention facilities, because there's plenty of those smaller conventions, 200 or 300 or 400 people, and we'll cater for that here, etc., etc. Swimming pool, not quite like Ivy, but it's not far from it, Richard. Yeah.
What about the time frame, John? The time frame here for the hotel, and also give us a time frame on the Theatre of the Horse and the grandstand.
Okay, Theatre on the Horse and grandstands on time, Richard. Looking to deliver it, God willing, as they say in other places, by March, April 2013. I don't see any reason to change that at the moment. We are on time, despite a lot of rain we've had. Here, we're being a bit more conservative. We're saying the first month or two in 2014, but I'd reckon we can pare that back as we go forward. We need to just get a tender process going, and we have a couple of contractors on site now that would be willing to have a go at this too, I'd imagine. Things
seem to be progressing well. It seems to have been we were stagnant here at Randwick for such a period, but geez, we seem to be picking up the ball and running with it.
Yeah, tip of the iceberg too, Richard. A few more things on the drawing board immediately, and there's some convention aspirations here, big-time convention aspirations, and we'd like to try and fill the void where Darling Harbour is being pulled apart now for the next 3 or 4 years. We think there's a really immediate opportunity to do something there. Rose Hill's not forgotten. We have plans there. We're working through them now with council, and we have a limited amount of money there. But again, we can be self-supporting there, we believe. And Warwick Farm, there's some big announcements to come, Richard, and stay tuned there.
Good luck, mate.
Thanks very much, Richard.